Wow.
You did meet with him there, though.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
And we had met with him there, so, whereas he has to put up a, fence, but he's well beyond where he, going. Dave, is there anything you want to discuss on this? This is one that was, even though he's building off from Baptiscoma Road, he's doing most of his work off from Lord Road to keep it so he doesn't have to do the driveway to near the end. And he's already got it stripped out, and I've been over there as I go by every day.
No, I have no questions.
Okay, there's no questions of Mr. Vassar or anybody?
No questions.
No questions for you? Okay, will somebody make a motion to accept the, make the motion for a negative determination?
So moved.
Make a motion to negative determination.
Charity did that, so
I second.
here's your second, okay. All right, and for all those in favor, can I get a yes or a no? Amanda,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
George, yes, we all vote yes, and this is all set, there'll be no problems, and when they come in to get their paperwork, they'll be all set. And we'll close it at 6:13 p.m. With this,
Hannah,
Hannah,
Yes.
with the next NOI, Andrea Kendall would like to be able to share the screen.
Of course.
Thank you.
You are now able to share screen.
okay. Now I need, which one is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, okay, legal notes, the Templeton Construction Company, 16 School Street, former Baldwinville Elementary School, map 141, lots 380, 381, 382, 383, 384, 385, and 407. Notice of intent. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act, that a public hearing will be held in the notice of intent filed by LEC Environmental Consultant on behalf of CCMPZ School Street LLC. Project location is 12 and 16 School Street, the former Baldwinville Elementary School, maps 141, lots 380, 381, 382, 383, 384, 385, and 407. Description of project is a conversion of the former Baldwinville Elementary School into apartment building with a proposed 3-story additions, parking, landscaping, recreation area, associated utilities, site appurtenances, and public assistance associated, public access walkway. Portions of the disturbed and or developed 200-foot riverfront area will be a portion of the public access walkway is located within the 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands. The hearing will be held on October 18, 2021 at 6 p.m. in the conference room, Town Hall, 160 Patriots Road, Templeton, Mass. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should appear at that time and place indicated above. The notice of intent is available public preview for Development Service Offices, room 3, 160 Patriots Road during regular office hours. Notice of intent is also available via email upon request. George Andrews, Chair, Templeton Conservation. Okay,
Just so you know, nobody came in and nobody emailed.
nobody is here. Okay, well then.
No, they're all by Zoom. Yep.
Oh, okay. They can all be seen, okay. Okay, and what's her name?
Andrea.
Andrea. Hello, Andrea.
Hi, everyone. This is Andrea Kendall with LEC Environmental Consultants. I am going to pass this over initially for the introductions by Matthew Zoller from MPZ Development. They're the project proponent along with Capstone Communities.
Thanks, Andrea. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Mr. Chairman, members of the Conservation Commission, thank you so much for having us this evening. My name is Matthew Zoller. I am principal of MPZ Development. And myself and my partner, Jason Korb, who will be joining us as well, of Capstone Communities, we are the members of CCMPZ School Street LLC, the applicant here tonight before you. I just wanted to give you a little bit of background. I apologize we can't be with you this evening, but we are here vis-a-vis Zoom, so hopefully that's helpful. This project has been in the works as a public-private partnership between the town of Templeton and CCMPZ School Street for a number of years now. We started back in March of 2020 with the submission of an RFP to purchase the Baldwinville Elementary School. We were designated through a developer designation agreement in September of 2020 with the select board. And that was also voted on by the community through our RFP process. That was for the disposition of the school and several of the parcels listed in the application. The partnership then entered into an agreement to purchase 12 School Street to increase the lot area and some of the benefits to the project, including additional parking spaces and another residential unit in 12 School Street. And then in May of this past year, we went to town meeting with a request for CPC resources, where CPC resources were voted to be contributed to the project in the amount of $1,174,000, a significant commitment on the part of the town. This project is a mixed income residential rental housing project. We will historically preserve the school at 16 School Street, and then put an addition on the back of the school, which will encompass approximately 50 units of residential, mixed income residential housing. And then we'll have associated amenities on site, which we'll talk a little bit more about this evening with you. And then 76 parking spaces throughout the site, with an additional 16 or so spaces on School Street per an agreement we have with the town to utilize those spaces for the project. This project will be permitted vis-a-vis the comprehensive permit, and we will start that process quite soon. We did want to get on the Conservation Commission's radar and have this initial conversation with you this evening. It is a larger project for the community. It is, again, a public-private partnership where we're working in concert with the town to do this wonderful addition, where we'll preserve this the school building as it should be preserved for decades to come. So with that, I will stop making general remarks. That's kind of where we are today. I should also mention we are seeking financing from the state. That is a large part of the reason why we went to town meeting for those CPC resources. And with those resources in hand and eventually with our permits, we'll make an application to the state for additional financing to construct the project. So with that, I'll turn it over to Andrea to speak to the details of our request of the Conservation Commission this evening. Thanks.
Thank you, Matt. Again, Andrea Kendall with LEC, and I also wanted to let everyone know that Brandon Lee from Kelly Engineering Group is on the call. He was behind all of the engineering and stormwater design that we'll discuss tonight. So if there are very specific questions, I will more than likely pass it off to him. But my goal, again, is to get into a little bit more detail, and then Brandon can provide some further detail as the commission might ask. I wanted to first share with you the overall aerial photo of the site so the commission can get a sense of site conditions. This is shifted a little bit so that the north is on the left of the screen, the south is Cottage Street. So that will just align with the orientation of the plans that I'll segue to in a minute. And as Matt described, the site is comprised of the existing Baldwinville School, elementary school, and a single family house and a site and garage and all the amenities that exist for these combined 7 parcels that totals about 3 acres. We have the existing school building. Cottage Street is on the south side, which provides the existing site access, which is currently a one-way loop in and then loop out to Schoolhouse Street or School Street. There is existing blacktop from the former play yard. There's a grassed play yard here. There's a fence that encloses that play yard. And this linear parcel to the top of the screen also corresponds to the former railroad alignment. So if I'm going to zoom in a little bit just for people to get more acquainted, if you haven't been out to the site before, this is the former railroad alignment. There are some existing infrastructure associated with that. This is a former bridge platform of a concrete bridge abutment. And in the river here is another bridge abutment. In terms of orientation, as I mentioned, we have the existing residential house and driveway, lawn, and then to the north of the site, some of the forested areas. The Otter River is the main hydrologic feature associated with the site. And there is a wetland that borders on that river. And all of this is located at the bottom of the embankment. So there is quite a topographic difference between the site, which is level, and then it transitions and descends topographically down to the Otter River. By way of just, this river is not considered a cold water fishery. There's no natural heritage mapping of the site for any habitat estimated or other. There's no vernal pools associated with the site. We have the 100-foot buffer zone that extends just a little bit onto the project site. And then we have the 200-foot riverfront area that'll show on the next screen that encroaches onto the site just a very little bit. There is bordering land subject to flooding or the 100-year floodplain, but that is associated with the low-lying topographic areas of the site, and that it doesn't extend on site. In terms of, I'll zoom out a little bit. Here we'll be able to see a little bit more detail of the former railroad alignment and that concrete platform that we could pick up a little bit in the aerial. The bank and mean annual high water associated with the river here is in dark blue. The bordering vegetated wetland is in magenta, and that again is pretty much topographically confined to the lower lying areas of the site. And then the site ascends. We have the 100-foot buffer zone in orange, and then the 200-foot riverfront area in light blue, and that extends onto the existing lawn area, encompasses the former railroad alignment. So for the vast majority, the site is not located within jurisdictional resource areas or associated buffer zones. I thought it would be helpful to convey that there really is minimal stormwater management at the site. Runoff either from the rooftop is collected and conveyed and discharged into the drainage system in School Street, and it more than likely, from what we could tell, goes straight down to the river. There are a couple of catch basins, or maybe 3 catch basins, that capture some of the runoff from the paved driveway closest to Cottage Street. But otherwise, everything either sheet flows into School Street drainage system or sheet flows onto existing lawn areas or off to the sides into the forested areas. The catch basins, and this will come into play more on the proposed conditions, but these catch basins, the runoff is collected and discharges into an existing outlet pipe that discharges into the forested area in this location, and that is conveyed in this drain pipe. There is a little bit of a swale that goes down the embankment, so any runoff that isn't infiltrated into the ground is conveyed through a swale that eventually makes its way down to the wetland. Are there any questions on the existing conditions before I hop into what we're proposing?
Yeah, I have one question. Can you show us where you are in the 100-foot buffer zone?
Sure. This orange line, and I'll see if I can highlight this. I'm not very good with this. Oh, it's not. My little cursor isn't letting me highlight, but this orange line, if you could see my hand, yeah, is the 100-foot buffer zone. And that is just the concrete platform from the bridge and includes just a very little bit of the former railroad bed.
Okay, I didn't think it was too close to the 100-foot. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Thank you.
Yeah.
We haven't had a walk out there yet. I just wondering approximately where we're headed to look for it.
Okay, great. And then just as a reminder, this is the light blue is a 200-foot riverfront area. So again, just a portion of that former schoolyard, the lawn, there is a chain link fence, and then the railroad is within the 200-foot riverfront area and that platform.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
No more questions.
Great, thanks. So in terms of the proposed conditions, here's a color plan that describes and depicts what is currently proposed. As Matt described, the existing school building will be converted into apartments. There is a building addition, I think it's about 11,000 square feet, that will be added to the rear of it. The existing single-family house will be also converted into housing. The garage, I believe, is being removed. Other programmatic aspects is making this current access way from Cottage Street into the site and then exiting out to School Street. That's going to become a two-way route. School Street. Is going to be utilized, as Matt
We are-
said.
We're
Go ahead.
making School Street two ways again, two ways again as
Okay.
well. I forgot to mention that in my opening comments.
Yeah, thank you. I thought I paused because I was going to convey that, but then I saw the one-way arrow. So that is going to, School Street is going to be a two-way road converted. And there's going to be two main areas or three main areas of parking on the site, and then school parking off the site. So there will be parking opportunities along the entrance and along this driveway route. And then there's going to be additional parking on the north side of the building, and then extending up into the northern portion of the site. There's going to be a public access 5-foot wide concrete, bituminous concrete walkway extending from Cottage Street along the property boundary, eastern property boundary, within the existing limit of work or existing cleared area, that will extend to the concrete platform, the overlook, and it'll become essentially an overlook area. That alignment will occur on top of the former railroad bed. And there will be a public recreational area. There'll be seating, a little pocket playground in this area here, and then a circular walkway for the community. Additional site amenities will be available for the community at the building entrance. And the green will be lawn, landscape, vegetated areas. The fire access route will coincide in part with the footprint of the existing walkway. There'll be a stabilized area adjacent to the walkway to provide a surface for any emergency vehicles to access the rear of the building. And in terms of stormwater management, Kelly Engineering designed a stormwater management program that brings the site up to compliance with the DEP stormwater management standards. That's comprised of new deep sump hooded catch basins in areas, proprietary water quality inlets, and then subsurface infiltration units below some of the parking areas. And I will get to that. And he created a nice colorized plan to help us through it. But in the end, it's a tremendous improvement to what exists there currently.
Andrea, I do have a, before you continue, if you could go
Sure.
back one slide.
Yeah.
How much of that forested area that's existing is being cut?
Actually, none, except for any vegetation that might have overgrown into the embankment on the top of the former railroad embankment. Oftentimes you'll get some saplings or whatnot to grow. We're staying at least within the school property portion within the existing footprint of the existing development. In terms of what's occurring, I'm going to zoom into the existing conditions, so bear with me. I wanted to show you the tree line here. And maybe we can, so if we see this, I don't know if this barn on the Columbus's property shows up, but it's pretty much, tree line is here. I'm going to see if I can get my cursor to the proposed conditions. Oops. Sorry for my zooming. There is a little bit of clearing, but it's not that much. And all of that is within, outside the riverfront area. I'm sure we can get you a number on square footage. I don't have that with me now, but it's comparatively, it's not that much as it compares to the proposed project. And Brandon, I don't know if you know that number offhand or can convey somewhat if I'm on the speaking correctly about this or if I'm way off, but that's my basic assessment.
Yeah, I think that's correct. This parking area is located within the existing lawn area. So there'll be minimal tree clearing.
Did
Yeah,
that answer
and
your
I
question?
just want to add,
Yeah.
I do want to add one area, Andrea, just so the commission's aware, up at the top of the site, where you come off of Cottage Street into the drive and where the public access path is. It's actually a little further up, just by the building almost, right where the fire truck path stop right there, that little corner where there's the angle of the path. So right there, exactly. Thank you. There is some tree clearing that will take place there and a little bit of grading to get the path to be level. But I just wanted to point that out. And the commission could see that when we go for a site walk. That could certainly be pointed out. Thank you. And actually, I will say one more thing. In these types of projects, we always try and keep as many mature trees as possible. They help enhance the site and the development overall. So we look to, retain as much existing tree cover as possible. And we'll have our arborist evaluate, the on-site trees just to make sure there's no disease or any issue with them.
Any other questions from the commission? Okay, great. So I'll describe a little bit of the stormwater management and then some of the other utility connections that is being proposed to support the development. The rooftop runoff is going to be collected and directed into subsurface discharge unit. We've got 3 main subsurface units peppered throughout the site. One of them is below the proposed the recreation area. One is proposed to the north or on this plan to the left of the existing school building. And one is proposed at the bottom of the existing, the proposed driveway loop area. So runoff from the parking lots will be collected in catch basins, conveyed to water quality units, and then directed to the subsurface infiltration units. Any overflow from that will be directed into the school street drainage system, in this case, for areas that are tributary to and within the subwater catchment area for School Street. Runoff from the proposed buildings and driveway up here will be collected in catch basins and directed now into the water quality inlets and then into the infiltration units. And then again, any overflow, any water that doesn't infiltrate and overflows will be piped to the existing outlet point. That outlet point will be upgraded with energy dissipator comprised of the riprap apron at the end. Brandon, was there anything in particular that I missed on that stormwater description that you'd like to add to?
No, I think those are a very good description.
Okay. In terms of utilities, some of the sewer lines will be abandoned, others will be added. Over electric is also going to tap into the electric utility within School Street. We're going to have one utility pole relocated, and then I think it's somewhere, oh, I don't remember exactly offhand, but it's somewhere down on this side or
It's the
somewhere.
other end.
The other end, somewhere down here.
Right. Yeah,
And then and then it will be conveyed to the building via an underground conduit system. I think that's it in terms of the project description. In terms of the overall work within riverfront area, which is either degraded or previously disturbed, it is pretty nominal. We're going to be converting just over 2,600 square feet of existing lawn and railroad bed will be converted into the walkway and recreational area. And overall, there'll be an addition of almost 1,500 square feet of impervious surface within riverfront area. But compared to the overall quality and aspects of the riverfront area, it's quite de minimis work. And in terms of what's occurring within the buffer zone, it's limited to a short segment of the walkway, which will then segue to the concrete overlook. And we're not changing that overlook in any way. We're just utilizing the existing feature of that. Any questions?
Not for me. No. Okay, can I make the ask for a motion? May I have a motion to accept?
And
Sorry, Andrea, go ahead.
oh no, I'm sorry. I was going to just convey at this point, well, earlier in the day, I realized I saw that DEP has not yet issued their file number. And I did not check at the end of the day, and I can do that now unless you've received notice that a file number has been issued.
No file number has been issued.
Okay.
Can we approve it with no DEP file number? We can additionally approve it.
Yeah, we can approve it.
So I make a motion to approve the NOI for 12 and 16 School Street
While we
while we wait for the DEP number to be issued.
Okay. Sure. Let me think for it. Okay, motion has been made and accept and seconded. Can I get a motion to accept? Amanda?
Aye.
Yes, okay. David?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Okay, I guess we're all set. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
End the meeting at 6:45. When we'll sign it off, so we'll get into it. Okay.
This cross country is finished, it'll be easier.
Okay, now we'll go back on to our business. I will open up, review for proposed drainage work, a medium of intersection of North Main Street and Otter Road and Lord Road. And Bob, will you want to come up and talk? It is now 6:47. We'll open up this meeting.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Board. The Lord Road, Otter River, North Main area. We town named it Gilligan's Island. Past years before I got here, guess it was a water hole, and they partly filled it in. And it's basically a nuisance to my department in the town. So when I arrive, when it gets full, they go pump it. My point is, a few points, I think it's embarrassing to the town to see my highway guys over there pumping it down to make the road safe. It is a road hazard, especially in the winter and in the summer, spring, if we have flooding. They pump it across the street and it follows the ditch line down and crosses down where the guy repairs lawnmowers. The pipe that's closer to Lord Road, North Main, that runs through the guy's driveway is failed and is bubbling out of his driveway. So my initial repair was going to replace the pipe for the resident there.
Mhm.
And then I notified you and we did a on-site valuation. I showed you, boy, this would be a great opportunity to throw a 6-inch pipe into that island, not to the bottom, about halfway.
Right.
And as it comes up, it just trickles out as needed instead of gush going down the side of the road for 2 hours.
Right.
I don't think it's a permanent fix. I think it's a temporary fix to eliminate my crew pumping it and easing the water down the side as it's going at a slower pace. I did mention when I first started the future plans, I met with a gentleman down on Otter River and we walked the path or where it should go. But we're gonna hire an engineer consultant. It's gonna be all designed. It's gonna be thousands and thousands of dollars, which we're not ready for. That would be the great fix for it. And that point, we would put a beehive catch basin in the middle of that island. And as it comes up, it just rolls in, goes down, but for now, I mean, it's embarrassing to see my guys over there pumping it down, and I have to do it because I don't need any liability problems with any residents driving the roads.
Yeah, me and Dave went over there and we looked at what you want to do. And it's to go across that one little intersection and let it drain into the other side slowly as it rains, so that it doesn't get to be a big puddle. So it'll automatically just go to the bottom and go through at a very slow pace to go down. And it won't go into the person's land further down on Evans Circle. There's a big bunch of dirt and stuff like that there. But I think personally, I think there's a way, it should be the easiest way to do it. You know,
It's definitely gonna
it's
save
not
the
gonna be a
town.
permanent fix, but it's just at least for now, it'll stop all that dirty water going down into the
Not only
Case's
that, it's gonna
lane.
save on overtime. It's the right thing to do at the moment because it's not gonna cost the town any money except for a couple pieces of pipe and which I already have.
Right. I do understand the people down the other end do have a problem with it, and we'll let them talk and see what happens. You know, and then we'll have to make a decision which way to go with it.
Okay.
And, Dave, you saw that with me, and you know, with the way the stuff does, if it only goes in and as it gets high, it doesn't get way high like this. It only goes up about 2 inches and goes through the pipe. It's gonna be a lot better for going way down the other end of the road, in my opinion.
Where is it? I have it
Okay, yeah, it's right here.
right in the middle.
Yeah, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a pipe from here and bring it over to here. Because he's replacing this pipe here anyhow, in this land, because it's failed. So while he's doing that, he just wants to put a pipe from there to there, just so we can drop the water.
Yeah.
And, you know. that's- Okay, is there anybody from the audience want to talk? Whoever wants to talk first?
No, I'll take it.
If I get your name, please?
My name is Sean Case. I am a resident of 294 Otter Road.
Mhm.
So I have great concerns that that water essentially goes, it goes behind my property. I mean, quite frankly, I think my questions are, what's that?
Through your property.
Yeah, through my property, through everybody's property here.
Right.
To be frank with you, and I mean, I think I got a series of questions, but I think my first comment based on his is, I don't understand why we're fixing a problem with a Band-Aid. When apparently his plan is to fix the problem outright. I got that. I'm with you on this. I think my first question, I have several, is that considered a wetland right now? At
Yes,
Gilligan's
It
Island?
is listed on the GIS system from DEP. If you go on their map, you will see that whole area is considered a wetland down there.
Perfect. So
On your end, not up there with the one in the middle.
So that's what I'm asking, is Gilligan's Island considered a wetland?
No,
Okay, so that's not considered a wetland right now.
no,
So-
it's not been listed on the GIS maps because I looked at it. The only thing that's the wetland is
Okay,
down.
and so I guess my history lesson here is, so 7 years ago, I built my house at 294 Otter River Road. I actually had to prove that that was not a river stream, that was an intermittent stream at one point in time. Hence my largest concern of it. Matter of fact, I have pictures of Polly Constantino and Irwin Hendrickson in the river that was all dried up 5 days in a row.
Yes, it will do that down there. It still
Oh.
does it.
Okay, so I'm glad we're okay there.
Yeah, we
so-
know it's still right up. We're trying to prevent a whole lot of water coming down there at once and widening it any worse than it is. And bringing all the dirty water that is being pumped out through your land.
So are you aware that every time it is pumped out, it pollutes that wetland that you just told me is a wetland?
And what?
I said, are you aware that that area back there that you told me that you just stated was a wetland in my backyard?
Right.
Are you aware that every time the town pumps it, that it's polluting that brook?
Well, this is why this will resolve the problem that you're talking about. This is why we're gonna stop doing the pumping it and just let it drain naturally, and it will keep a very small stream coming down, and it'll be natural water coming through. It won't be dirt and stuff going down with it.
Can you explain to me how installing a pipe is natural?
How installing a pipe is natural.
Correct.
Basically what you're doing is you're just moving the water from one side to the other, and it's just running it into the
Before the
way it
road
comes
was
down.
there, those wetlands would have connected that are behind your property and on the other side of that road. At some point, probably when it was a
Well, no,
stage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think
No,
so. I think there was a catch basin in there, Amanda, at one
Yeah.
point in time. I
There was a
think,
catch
and I think
basin
it filled in, and I, don't quote me on
The
this. 'cause
highway department filled it in.
We're talking, Amanda, we're talking when I was like waiting on the bus at the corner.
At the corner
So-
of,
I believe there was a catch
Over
basin there at
here.
one point in time.
there was a catch basin right here. It was only about 3.5 feet deep. It kept collapsing. The former highway department closed it off completely.
So why not fix?
On the other
catch
side of
basin?
the road, there was a
Just
the
throwing it out
house,
there.
the Vanjie house, who had a deep area. He filled that all in, so now all the water stayed up in this area here. And this is where the problem has originated from. And I only know that because I've been here 54 years in town.
Sure,
And, yeah.
no argument, and
I
I,
just- And we want to do a
Catch
temporary
basin
fix.
Solve that problem.
I'm not, I would have to, I'm not familiar with that catch basin.
No,
Yeah,
Catch
and
basin
in fairness,
was
he's-
double
was
catch
taken out 10
basin.
years
Yeah, but
ago.
in fairness, he's new to this role. I mean, investigate that, because here, at the end of the day,
It
if
was
that
taken
catch
out.
basin is unplugged.
It was taken out because that catch basin would collapse, but also the house in front of it was filled full of water.
Oh,
Because the water was, that was, you guys are getting on your side now with the pumping was going into the corner house right there. Plus, further down, there used to be a pond that people used to skate on, and that has been eliminated.
That was
I
filled
don't-
in by the town of Templeton.
I don't remember that, but you do because you live that area. But that was taken out too.
Okay. My following question is it legal to inundate someone's property with water by causes that are unnatural without consent? But you're defining the pipe as natural, so this is gonna be interesting. So let me ask that one again. Is it legal to inundate someone's property with water by causes that are unnatural without consent?
Right.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, and this is the way it is if you put a 6-inch pipe across and you're keeping the flow that way, and they've been using that stuff, you're getting water down the other side anyhow. That's all the time, all the way from further up on Otter River Road, the pipe runs all the way down beyond number 41, where there is a pipe that goes across, and that goes into the property beyond it, which is in your area.
So, Mr. Andrews, no disrespect, but I feel you have not answered my question. Is it legal to inundate someone's property with
That I
water?
do not know. You'd have to take that up with an attorney.
No problem.
No.
But
like I'm saying, we're trying to solve a problem the best way we, at this time, until the town, gets money, grants or something to do it the opposite way. When they redid the water mains on Otter River Road and North Main Street, that was planned to be done, but they never got the money to do it, so it was omitted, and they just took out that one thing that I told you about.
So according to you, you're saying it's, whether it's legal or not, it's okay to do it.
I'm not saying that at all.
Oh, okay, 'cause
I am
that's
just- all I'm saying
that's how
is-
I'm receiving it right now.
All I'm saying is, that's the easiest way to solve the big problem of you getting inundated with all this dirty water and stuff. And it would be on a
Well-
natural, it'll do it naturally, not being pushed down the road.
I don't think a pipe is gonna be natural cause, Mr. Andrews.
But the pipe is already there.
There's no
No,
pipe.
there's
in
no
the road.
pipe there.
No,
No, there's
Going
no pipe
across
from
that
Gilligan's
road
Island
is-
to the side of the road. No,
The
sir.
pipe is going down the street and across the road from Otter River Road. You're getting all that water as it is. You
No,
get
you're
that
not.
water there.
That's not true.
That,
Otter River Road is a higher point than is Lord Road on Baldwinville side. In other words, you have to go over the Otter River Road.
I should have corrected myself. That is Lord Road where the pipe is running down, that runs into your area.
That's right.
And if you
And it
go up
comes- it
Lord
runs-
Road, it goes into Otter River Road, goes down that whole side. And he's gonna be replacing the pipe on Lord Road.
So, sir, my complaint isn't about the pipe that he's replacing on Lord Road if it's already existing. My complaint is about the pipe that he wants to install from Gilligan's Island to the other side of Lord Road that is marked in the road by DigSafe already.
That is. It's there, I know it's marked.
Okay,
I saw that it was marked, but I'm just explaining why.
so
it
what
was
pipe are we
done.
talking about from natural causes? Because at that point in time, so I go back to the natural cause question, right? Because at that point in time, you're now trenching the road out and putting a pipe in. None of that sounds natural to me.
You're adding on to a drainage system is what you're doing.
Correct.
But it's better than having all that water.
Is
pumped
it?
down the
If
road.
it was on your property, it wouldn't be though, would it?
So wait, a minute.
Yes,
No,
it
wait. So if it's,
Can I have
Mr.
one-
Case,
Go ahead.
please,
No.
Can
no
I-
yelling. You can't talk nicely. We're not gonna listen.
Can I have 1 minute of your time, please?
Yes, you may. But
These
you
are
do not
pictures
need-
that I took. This is what happens 2 or 3 days after you run your water. I can't.
I
even
don't
take-
run the water.
I can't even take my animals out there
I know
because the
that.
minute they get in
I
there,
walked
they're
there
all
with you.
gone.
I know that.
okay? And that's caused from drainage. The pollution that's going in that four corners, every time a car stops, there's oil, antifreeze, brake dust, and everything else that ends up in it. Okay, some days you can go over there and you can see a slime on top of the water. It's not fair to be dumping it on my property.
Yeah, but this is when it comes down, that's after he's
That's
pumped it. That's what we're trying to prevent.
It's
But he
worse, the worst, every time water comes from that hole, that's what I get. When it ran down the ditch, I never had a problem. When they started pumping it out of that hole, I was promised 4 or 5 years ago that the town would put in drainage, and I looked the other way and I told Bob that too. I've been really, really good about it, because I figured at some point, somebody's gonna fix it. All right, but the town got how much money this year?
That has nothing to do with the money coming in, has
Well-
nothing to do with that.
But the point
section.
is that this project was known to be for 5, 6, ever since Bud Chase was here.
Well, that's the problem, that he's no longer here, I understand that. And the money that came in had already been proposed for other areas before it came in.
Promises, okay? When somebody looks at me and they say, it's only a temporary fix, okay? I've learned now that there's no such thing as a temporary fix in Templeton. If you do it once, it's done, and you own it after that.
So my question is by putting the pipe in, how is that going to keep the contaminants from flowing down? I know it's only going to be small amounts of water, but small amounts of water will still transmit that pollutants down to the perennial stream. Because, you know, this summer particularly, we got a lot of rain. That all would have still flowed that pollutants down to that intermittent brook. So I want to know how this is going to be a solution to keep that pollutants from flowing. into the
I
river.
do not know if you're gonna get the pollutants, it's only gonna come down maybe half an inch or an inch at the
Can
most in that.
Are you positive about that?
Yeah, so slow pollutants are better than no pollutants? Question?
I have no answer for that,
Okay.
because I have nothing to do with pollutants. We are here for water.
Okay, so slow sludge, because you earlier you said there's still sludge and we're gonna get stuff that comes down the brook, and so then just the water, so how does slow water alleviate the problem of things coming down the intermittent stream? That's the part I don't understand.
I have no idea.
When you reduce.
I cannot
I will answer your question
Thank
in
you, I
a
appreciate it.
scientific way, however, I understand your concern.
Mhm.
Surface runoff will be reduced.
Will be cleaner than, yeah, so funny, I noticed your emoji on there, I loved it, I'm actually a mathematician. So
Awesome.
talk to me, right, so from
Right.
So from essentially from the top, your argument now to me is that the surface water is gonna be cleaner than the bottom water.
No, it's that the surface runoff will be slower if it's continuous rather than all at once. And the contaminants, if it's all at once, will push through further and faster. Whereas if it's continuous, if it's not going to reach as far, it's still a problem.
Still a problem,
Obviously.
yeah, okay, thank you.
If you go on to, what is it, what's the Environmental Protection Agency?
DEP.
DEP. If you look it up there, you will find that the slower the water runs, the worse it makes it. And that's because of the bacteria in the water that's causing that. And that's a fact, it's right on DQ.
Did you have a question on that?
Yes, I live on Otter River Road, and the water does go on the corner of my property now. I understand the issue with that. There's a safety thing. I agree with you. But dumping it either slowly or all at once on our property, really, I don't believe is the answer. I'm hearing the words temporary. How many years is temporary? And before you know it, whether it's new houses on the Otter River Road or just natural change in the woods, the wetlands, they're gonna be putting another pipe across the street, probably Otter River Road. And before you know it, we're gonna have all the water coming down from the bridge, probably into our backyards. I just don't think it's fair. If I was dumping water into some town property, I think somebody would have something to say about it. Maybe, maybe not, but I hope so.
Somebody call you.
So I do understand from the safety issue this gentleman here with the highway department, but I wish the town would find another answer to it. They talked about 41, that it crosses by 41, the guy that does the lawnmower repair.
Yes.
It does, I don't believe that's
That's
correct,
not true.
because it's further up towards the Gilligan's Island that actually crosses. Than further down by them.
There's a DI right across from that gentleman's house.
Yeah, but the last time they pumped it, it came down the other pipe into my yard. I didn't walk down the other way, all the way down to the gentleman with the lawnmowers. I walked up to the woods, and I sent that video to Lori, I don't know if anybody's seen it. But it's not going all the way down, it's closer to, almost across the street from the driveway where the gentleman cuts wood.
I was gonna say, it's right next to Levandy's, I believe, right? Or is it one more?
It's in
It might be
between,
one.
it's in between Levangy's house.
Levandy's in the next
I don't
one.
know what that other house number is, but.
Well, Hecknick's on the other side, I think.
Right. the other
I don't believe, it doesn't go all the way
Yeah.
down to that 41, I don't believe it.
I'll-
It dumps into my lane.
Well, I have no idea how far down. I know one day I was at 41 with my lawnmower and he was showing me that they had made a bigger pipe in there and pushed it further out about 20 years ago in order to keep the water off his land and to get closer to the river, the little river that's down off the middle of Water River on the outside, on the road itself.
Mhm.
And it goes over to the big mountain, what's the name of that club over there? Eventually.
The Ridgely's?
Original club?
Yeah.
I believe.
Remember that one that was?
So is it that it's a
they tore
natural
down that
spring,
building?
or is it filling with rainwater every time it rains?
Well, I think right there, whole corner, if you look on the other side where somebody drove off the road, the ground's so saturated right now, all the hydraulic pressure. So, and you get these monsoon rains now that we're not used to. So you can get 2 inches of rain. And you can't control how fast or slow it's gonna go. You're gonna get all the pollutants, you're gonna get everything. All the silt, it just destroys the runoffs. And that's why we gotta go around and maintain them. But we're just trying to relieve a problem. It's not the correct 100% way of doing it, but it's gonna save us some time and money until we get money to hire an engineer and do this. Right now, all the monies are tied up in the roads and Royalston Road with engineers. There's no money available probably in the next couple of years to actually lay this out.
So all of you abutters, do you have a proposed solution that could work? Is there some spitball idea that you think would be better?
How about digging the island back out for starters?
There's a natural
Okay.
spring in that island, I understand too.
Well,
Is there?
if there is, then you're draining it on my
Yeah.
property. Drain it across on the other
I
side.
mean, I gotta tell you,
It's a
it was well said, right there. If I put my water on the town's property, somebody up there is gonna say something to me. That was pretty well
It
said.
was just that, our concern, I believe all here is the extra water that's gonna come from Gilligan's Island. The water that is, correct me if I'm wrong, the water that's already in that trench across the street without being pumped, without putting the extra pipeline in. Dries up. It's kind of.
dries up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just that extra flow, and I know you're gonna say it's just an overflow, it's gonna be an inch or two at a time. But it's inch or two at a time, and that's what we think. I mean, we see it, we all see how it fills up really quick. We really don't want the extra water, and I hope we understand that.
I
And I'm not,
absolutely
we're not here
understand
trying to cause any problems, but we just try and protect ourselves. Because we don't know what's gonna come down the road, and temporary is years. I think it's been like 17 years, maybe 18 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. We
Yeah.
did the Otter River Road off. All the neighbors went to town meeting when it was over at the pallet place. And we're talking about.
This all should have been done before he paved those roads.
Yep.
up there.
Yeah.
No argument,
No
Bob.
It's a
argument.
waste
No
of town
argument.
money. They're already cracking now.
Yep.
They're
Yep,
gonna
I
crack
agree.
soon.
Bob, no argument.
I came in, I know, I wish I was here.
Oh, believe me, I'm not, sir, I'm not.
No, I know, I'm just saying.
I understand, you got a tough job, you really do. And
And I
it's
went,
just that where, the town says, oh, yeah, we're gonna fix it all up, and then all of a sudden, everything dried up. They spent the money somewhere else, they said, and we've been
Should
with
have
the
been drainage
problem.
on Otter River, Lord, North Main. and upper Otter River. It should have all been done before they did what they did.
But I think our concern is that extra pipe that they're gonna put in from Gilligan's Island, feeding into this other trench.
Yeah.
If they could find some other way, I understand his predicament over there, with those guys pumping it and the safety issue, there is a safety issue. It does come up into the road. We just wish you
Sounds
could find
basic.
some other way to doing this, other than having it,
You know,
relieved into our
Well,
property.
that's why we had.
Thank you for
I
that.
discussed it.
What does-
Personally, think you're gonna see less water being long drawn out. When it reaches it, it's gonna go out. When it gets below the pipe, it's gonna stop. You're not gonna get gallons and gallons of water for 2 hours. It's gonna be less noticeable on your,
But it's still, it's still
Oh, I
more water
understand,
coming in.
right.
And I understand it's not gonna be a 6-inch hose dumping water in there, but it's still more water coming in our property from that. And I just wish they could find
Maybe
a
you
different
want a pond.
solution. I'm
You
sorry.
really need a pond over there. That would help.
I mean, so I don't know what unfilling the catch basin would do, in fairness. I have no, just as he has zero evidence that suggests how much water or, whatever be the case, he feels or his opinion is, he has zero evidence that suggests how much sludge or anything that I'm gonna get in my backyard. I have zero evidence that suggests the catch basin is gonna work either, to be clear. That being said, we should probably budget some training and, I think that isn't a request that I can obviously put before conservation, but I can certainly say it to him as he sits here. Because this is definitely a relevant problem.
I think after the first couple of times, if that pipe goes in, after that, you'll see a huge difference in less pollutants. Because the water's moving, it's not sitting there for a month and collecting all this stuff and getting pumped. It's gonna be moving and kept at a certain level, so it's not gonna be as scummy and gummy as it was to sit there all summer.
I would like to go out and see this.
Huh?
I would like to go out and see this.
You can. Mr. Cage will even take it around the land and show you.
I was
where-
gonna say, I'll happily give you the
Right
tour,
down.
Amanda.
Because I've been there. I was there 2 weeks ago. I understand. I saw everything that was being done.
It's,
Mr. Chairman,
Adam
Yeah.
Lamontagne has joined via Zoom.
Oh, what a bad.
Hi, Adam. We have a problem, Adam. You like to say something?
okay, so I've been watching the meeting
Yes.
and I hear the concerns of the neighbors. So if I can request of the Conservation Commission that the board approve this subject to town council review.
Sure. You can do that. And we'd like to have the town council to review this.
I think Amanda should have the opportunity
I
to go look too.
Huh?
Amanda has requested to be able to look
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
site.
oh,
too.
yeah, she can go and look and see what it is. Is there any, can I get a motion to get town council review?
I'll make a motion for town council review.
I'm not
So if I can, to the board.
Yeah.
So Bob's trying to resolve a situation here and, I'm hearing a lot of concerns from the neighbors and such. I know the Conservation Commission has authority over this project and allowing him to proceed forward, but with those such concerns, I would request that the board issue the authority to do so, subject to review by town council, and we can proceed forward at this moment. Subject to that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. So do you understand what he just said?
No, I was gonna say, excuse my ignorance. Tell me what that means.
I mean, we can approve him doing it, but not to do it until town council has reviewed what we have said he could do. In other words, they come in and look it over and make sure it was legal to do what he wants to do. And that's all it means. Is to another step to help both you and Bob.
So
Just because it's.
So, Mr. Chair, if I can jump in for a second here. I'm sorry to interject into this meeting, but I'm hearing legalities and such. So because I've heard those, I would refer it to town council just to be on the safe side. And that way we cover all, dot our i's, across our t's.
Okay, thank you. All right, so you, David, you okay to do it? I'll second, and we'll refer it to town council after we talk to Adam. He'll set it up, and we'll see how far we can go with it to prevent any problems between the neighbors and the town. That's what he's talking about. And we don't want to have a big problem, and then this person's suing this person, stuff like that there. Is that okay with you people?
Was there actually a
For us
vote?
to have the town council to review it?
Yeah, but just because it's legal doesn't really make it right.
Right, and that's exactly what Amanda
I'm
said,
not-
right over there.
You know, that's the thing, though, that's.
It's still discharging a lot of really bad stuff into wetlands, so.
And I also
I think
think,
there's
you
gonna
know,
be a
if you
better
look up
option.
where I told you, I was just trying to find it on my phone again. If you look it up, you'll see that the slower the water runs, the worse that slime will get. Because what it does is it's an iron dissolving bacteria that ends up breaking down because of the chemicals in the water. And I believe that's what it says on DCAM. All right. Gee, I dealt with DCAM all my life, so I'm used to DCAM.
Amanda, if you'd like to come out and look at it, it's tour.
Yes, I'd love to.
Mr. Chair?
No, go ahead.
So if I can, I've been watching the meeting and reviewing everything that's been discussed. And at this point in time, I think the process, Mr. Sozik's been trying to address this issue, and the best way to proceed forward is his solution. However, the neighbors brought up such issues, and I think the best way to proceed forward is such that I already recommended. I know it's challenging. I wish we could make every single neighbor happy, but in this process, I think that it's been mentioned a Band-Aid fix, but I think a fix is better than having no fix whatsoever. So I trust my DPW director, but at the same time, I want to make sure that we covered everything legally. And then we can discuss, I could have a meeting with Mr. Sozik once we have authority from that Conservation Commission to proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Okay. Motion has been made and seconded to have, to approve putting the pipe in, but to have it taken to the town council before anything can be taken care of. All those in favor?
No,
No. Yes, or no? It's a big issue.
Say no.
No. Okay, so,
we're gonna hold off and come up with a better
yeah,
solution.
we'll hold off and then we'll come back and see what we can do. So as of right now, it's 3-0, because I'm not gonna vote on it either way. So it does not pass.
So start thinking about some good solutions for
Yeah.
us.
Can you
please.
just tell us who Adam is? I'm sorry.
Oh, Adam is
Town
our
administrator.
town administrator.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, and believe it or not. Well, that's how it'll be. So 2 and 1 not voting. This is a vote. We'll end the meeting now at 7:20. We'll go on to the next thing, Stoney Bridge.
Wanna come back up and talk about Stoney Bridge?
That's a bad issue here too.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Thank you.
So Stoney Bridge, field, years ago, we hired a engineer consultant. Giving us some different opportunities and ideas for what to make of the bridge. And it's leaning towards a recreational type walk through bridge. I sent you pictures. I don't know if you ever got them. I think Laurie printed them out.
Laura, you got them for me.
So over the past year and a half, the vegetation is growing, needs to be cut back. In the bridge, the asphalt's actually caving in more. And the granite blocks are falling. So it's pretty much blocking itself up. And we're gonna have ice, and we have beaver problems down there. And if that beavers come back, it's gonna be impossible to get that open. So Carter Tannerini suggested I talked to the consultant and I talked to you that we peel the top off, which is pulling the asphalt off the top, getting the asphalt that's in the water out of there, pulling all the granite blocks and stacking them off to the side for future reuse of the new footbridge, and taping and sloping of the bankings like a 3-to-1, and putting riprap, which is like 10 to 14-inch stone to stabilize the banking. That way there, the water can continue flowing. They'll be doing the same thing if they come in to do this procedure, to put the box culvert in. There'll just be less material for them to dig out. And this will keep everything moving trouble-free. And if people approach it, there'll be still barriers there, but it's just, not a sharp bank, and they can walk down it if someone decided to try to fish it or whatever. And Carter highly suggested it, and I agree with Carter, and it's actually a pretty high priority before we get into this bad weather.
Any questions, Dave?
Did you guys see the pictures?
No, but I've been down there. It's
No,
rough.
Dave and I have been down there. Yeah, we went out there to place for the dynamite places.
So the first thing we would do is cut all the vegetation down and get that out of there, and then go in and cut the pavement and excavate what we need to, and go around the Phillipson side and do that side as well.
Adam, did you have anything else to add?
You still there, Adam? There you are.
Yeah, turn this video on.
You have anything to add about Stoney Bridge, Adam?
So I wasn't expecting to attend your meeting tonight, but when I saw the neighbors come out and everything, I was like, this is going on way too long. The Stone Bridge, I was talking with Bob Sozik and our consultant, Barre Rd, on that project, and we really want to proceed forward in making the adjustments for that. So I think at this point, Bob and the consultant came up with the right plan to address the short-term concerns when it comes to this project. So if we can proceed to that level, that would be appreciated. That's all I really have to add. Bob and I have been in talks on this project as well, but we still have quite a few of them that we're working on, and take them step by step. As you see, just tonight, you had the Baldwinville Elementary School project. We're talking about a $20+ million project right there. Investment in our community. We have the Stone Bridge. Bob has other projects going on, and I really think we're making progress in the right direction. It's just a matter of getting consensus amongst the community and really gaining that trust to go to the next level. And I think Bob's done a pretty good job. We're pretty appreciative of him taking on a lot of these issues, whether they're popular or not popular. So with that, that's all I really have to add. And I wish the conservation the best. I'll continue working with all you folks. So thank you for allowing me to jump on your meeting this evening.
Thank you for joining us. Please, Anything else?
No, I think it's gonna be a whole lot worse if that bridge fails without us doing anything. So I make a motion to approve the Stoney Bridge proposal.
I'll second that.
That's a motion has been made and been seconded. Can I get a vote on Stoney Bridge?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and so it has been approved. What you would like to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, 7:27. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.